Hi everybody, this is Diane. As we've gone through a couple of videos where I showed my collections, a couple of my collections of things, I showed my collection of sewing patterns, and I don't remember what else I showed. But I thought that maybe you'd like to see my journals that I have created and I kept for myself. I have quite a few, so it would be several videos. And I won't go into great detail. You can always ask questions if you want to. But these are the earliest ones, I believe, that I could find. And I can tell you why. I know that they're earlier ones, but I'm going to show you this one. This was dated in, well, I think I dated it in 2016. Yes. I started watching it or using it in 2016. Now, I didn't date them when I used them, or when I made them. I dated them when I started using them, but I think I used them pretty close to when I made them. So this one is going to be in a separate video because I used duct tape. Duct tape was a thing. It was all these really fun patterns, and I made some journals with duct tape on the spine, but this one, it was creeping off. I put some more duct tape on to kind of hold it together. So I want to rebind this. So we're going to look at this in a video where I rebind it. And I used to do swaps on Junk Journal Junkies. I did quite a few swaps. And a lot of the times, if I made a journal for a swap, then I would make one for myself. So that's what this was. It was I think vintage movie star theme. So that's what I made for myself. So then these are dated 2017. This one has its own original spine. I didn't have to cover it. And this is a book called Lucille. It was a book of poetry. I loved the cover. And I'm just going to do a quick little flip through. This was the actual pattern that I had. It has my maiden name on it. My mom wrote D. Passmore on here, and I crossed off Passmore and wrote Hubert after I was married. But I made this dress a couple of times. I remember this is Tsunami Rose, a digital. I loved that. So it has coffee dyed paper, some laces, digital papers. One of my stamps there. I made this. I should do this again. See, looking at my old books gives me ideas, makes me remember things that I haven't done in a while. I like that shaped pocket. There's a tiny little bag there that I folded up. You probably saw that on somebody's video. I've learned a lot from watching other people's videos. And I still do learn from watching other people's videos. That is a picture of the donuts that my daughter made. This, let me see. What was the date on this? This was about a year after my husband died. Lots of Tsunami Rose stuff in here. I wasn't that familiar. I don't know what that, oh, it tore through the bag. I'll have to fix that. I wasn't that familiar with a lot of digital makers, and there weren't nearly as many then as there are now, but I remember Tsunami Rose and Ephemeris Vintage Garden were my first ones. I think, yeah, I don't know. They were my first ones that I purchased from. So that's Ephemera's Vintage Garden right there. Still do a lot of the same things, but I think my style has evolved because my taste has changed. This is just packaging from Tim Holtz something. So that's an early one. This is one that I made for myself after I did an Alice in Wonderland swap on Junk Journal Junkies. And I made this one. This is a golden book. I think it was an Alice in Wonderland golden book. It's got Mod Podge, so it sticks. Yeah, that's the front cover, but I put it on the inside because I wanted to do this collage. This is the cover of a paperback Alice in Wonderland book, and I had fun just adding all of these things to it. And a bead dangle. It's probably one of my first bead dangles. And I used Tyvek on the spine of this one. See, I'd never used fabric at this point, but I used distress inks, different colors of distress inks on my Tyvek scrapbook paper here. And I just put this little bulb or bowl clip on a chain through an eyelet here. This is from a school folder. So I use different books, cut illustrations out of different books. I don't remember what the one that I made to send out looked like, but this is the one I made to keep. As part of the folder, I made a little pocket out of it. I had several folders. I think I got them at a thrift store from the Johnny Depp movie. I kind of followed everybody's lead and did the vintage stuff with everything dyed, coffee dyed, and just vintage looking. At first I didn't use digitals, but everybody that did the swaps on Junk Journal Junkies, it's a Facebook group and they're still in operation, so you could, you know, look for Junk Journal Junkies on Facebook if you wanted to join a group, and they do swaps. I'm still part of the group, but I don't do swaps anymore. Anyway, I didn't use digitals, and I started out with using my Bind It All. And my first couple of swaps, I made some journals with the wire. And then they started saying that you had to do sewn-in signatures. So then I had to learn how to do sewn-in signatures. And then I think my first digital was a freebie from, where did these come out? Oh, right here. A freebie from Tsunami Rose. I just wanted, because I didn't know how it worked. You know, I'm not tech savvy. I'm a lot more tech savvy now than I was then. And so I got a freebie. I didn't want to spend money on a digital and then not know how to use it, you know. It was so easy. I got my freebie and then I printed it on our home printer, and then I was hooked. I didn't buy them a lot. I buy quite a few now. So there's that one. And this one has cardstock on the spine, and it's not even very worn. I actually used this journal, and it doesn't even look like this has been used a lot. This is a really old book with the leather corners and leather on the spine. And I did this collage with a photo and a real milk bottle cap. Put some eyelets in there for some seam binding. Did another collage there with another photo and another milk bottle cap. This is a vintage caramel popcorn bag I think someone sent to me. So I was just starting to collect vintage items. I started going to flea markets, and I was surprised at what I could find at the flea markets. And if you watch my videos a lot, you know that I find lots of good stuff now. There's a cute little old chicken card from a children's game, some vintage tickets, vintage photos. Someone sent me from Australia some cigarette cards. I had never even heard of cigarette cards before. I'm going kind of fast because I don't know what is written in these, and I just don't want to linger. I was going through grief. Still am, truth be told. I liked this page with the Del Monte peas cut out from a magazine. This was one of the first vintage things I found in an antique store. It was a coupon for silverware that you got with your Betty Crocker and General Mills packages. You could save them all up and then turn them in for some silverware. But I remember being so excited when I found these cards, because they were, Tim Holtz used these images on his first paper kit that I ever bought. And I thought, they're the Tim Holtz things. And I had the cards, the original cards. It was so cool. I remember the excitement. Ledger papers, glassine bags. Somebody sent that to me, I remember, from Iowa. Hope I'm staying in view. And this one came with, no it didn't, this isn't the same. I added that library pocket. And the last one I brought in with me today is this one, also with cardstock, and it does not show any signs of wear, so they're holding up, the cardstock covers, or spines. I loved this. Back then, I didn't want the authors and sometimes the book titles to show. This one, I just left it as it was. I thought that was fine. But this one, I can't remember what it was called, but it had the Satan Sanderson. So I don't know what that meant, but I didn't want that name on the front. So I covered that all up with collage. This picture was on the front, but I covered the rest with these little doilies that I cut out from scrapbook paper, and I used gray cardstock, made a bead dangle. I should make some more of these. I know I've told you I don't enjoy making them. Doesn't mean I shouldn't make them, because I like the way they look. There's an antique postcard in here that I wanted to keep. A bingo card. Might have been from the first set of bingo cards that I found. It's from S&H Green Stamps. There's a postcard that was so fragile, it kept breaking off, so I backed it. I made a copy of the back, and you can see where it was torn there. And then I cut it out and inked around it and glued it to the back of it to protect it. Oh, this was when my daughter and I went to see Neil Diamond in Philadelphia. How exciting that was. It was his last concert before he had to retire because of his Parkinson's. It was so exciting. And we got to see the Liberty Bell on that trip. An illustration from this book. Another illustration from this book. I liked doing, I still do, like collaging elements to create pockets and tucks. It was 88 degrees that day. There's another collaged tuck spot. This was from a calendar. This was from the book, and this was actually in the book too, so I used not duct tape, washi tape to attach it there. Just wondered what was in there. I haven't used that stamp in a while. So that's 4 of them, and next time I'll bring in some more. So these are like some of the first ones that I ever made, and you can tell if you watch my channel, you can tell my style has evolved and how I make things has changed, and I think the quality is better now, but I've had fun all along the way. No matter what project I was doing, I had fun with it. I hope you enjoyed seeing these, and I hope that you want to see more. Let me know, and we'll do some more of these videos. This was a short one. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope that you have a creative day. Bye.